I thought a lot about how I got to that place of peace. And I'm going to share with you the journey of how I got to that place of peace, what I call the peace process. The first P is to practice becoming an observer witness. And as I stepped out of my life that day, as I got down on my knees and prayed, I realized that observing and becoming a witness to my life rather than feeling and being in the crux of everything was a good way to go. One of the ways that I like to do that is I like to pull out of the situation, pull out of my life, and ascend above myself and look down as if I was on the top of a tall building and I see life happening on the ground, but I'm not really a part of it. But I'm looking at it for ways that I can be better in it, not necessarily of it. So I ascend to 10,000 feet. I say the words, how interesting. How interesting is that when Dan yells at my mom, he tries to pull me into the situation. How interesting that it took me 30 years to get through the situation. Without feeling one way about it or another, I ask those words and I say those words, how interesting. As I had that day with Catherine in the breakup, I found myself in a repeating pattern. All my relationships were ending the same way, and it was not them that was the problem, it was me. I was the issue. I have a repeating pattern. And so that day I found that pattern and began to incorporate God's love into my life and ask Him to heal that pattern for me. But I identified it first. Not soon after that, I realized I had the power to choose what I was going to do. I didn't know who I was at that point in my life, but I knew that I could choose who I wanted to be. And I went from a person who had all the right answers and having the standard for living into a person of kindness, forgiveness, love, light, beauty, and joy. I intentionally began to be that person because that's how Jesus walked. That's how God is. And I wanted to be in that company and receive God's love. So I began to apply choice. I changed my mind. And as I did that, I took responsibility for everything that happened in my life. Everything. I was the creator of it. So therefore, I took 100% responsibility. And as I did that, I took my power back. I had given away my power to Dan by reacting, by giving him the ability to control my thoughts and my actions. And I began to take power back when I applied choice. And I changed my program, my thoughts, to be the person that I wanted to be on my own terms with God's help. I claimed my freedom through the forgiveness of another. And that day I offered up a prayer to God and asked God and to forgive Dan for everything that had happened. And that day I became free. I broke down the walls that I had created around my heart as a means to protect myself. They came crashing down. And one of the reasons why is I claimed my freedom through the power of forgiveness of another. And that was a beautiful, beautiful day for me. The final piece to the peace process was to elevate my heart and soul through the forgiveness of myself. And as they say in the Course in Miracles, that forgiving yourself is really all that matters, right? It's all that matters. In that day, I completed my journey by forgiving myself for letting the little boy in me off the hook of trying to get that man out of the house and not doing it day after day after day after day. And being a person who was difficult. And being a person who had all the answers. And I let myself go that day. I let myself feel God's love through the forgiveness of myself. And that's the peace process. That's the peace process of which I walked through over a 30-year period with the help of God's love and God's guidance helping me to get to a place of peace. And that peace still resides in me today. It's a peace that I really can't describe to you, but it's a peace that lasts. It's not a fleeting moment. It lasts and lasts. And that day for me was beautiful. That day for me, I realized that everything in life was the same. We're all one. We're all connected. Everything is connected. Saw the infinite beauty in everything that was around me. And that's the day you don't want to forget. You always remember those moments. Everything that you've done in life, everything that I've done in life, both good and bad, has brought you here to this place. Everything that you've done in life has brought you here to the International Forgiveness Week. And time stands still for us to be lovers, to be people of forgiveness, and to know God's love this week, and to rejoice in that. That's the beauty of this week, to remember why we're here, to remember why we're going home. The peace process provided that for me. Course in Miracles provides that for you. And we're all the same. We're all one in God's eyes. Absolutely. Yay. And so I thank you for having me. I'm humbled and grateful to be here before you. And I'm thrilled to be here. And I'm glad that you guys asked me to speak with you today. And I hope I've been worthy of your time.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.